Greetings to everyone, I am Crescent and I would like to showcase my latest entry in my 3D recreation of Yu-Gi-Oh! Art series. Today, I would like to present to you Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Chain was released as a super rare in the set Absolute Power Force on February 12th, 2010 for the TCG. It is a continuous trap card. The effect reads, activate this card by targeting one effect monster on the field. Negate the effect of that face-up monster while it is on the field. Also, that face-up monster cannot attack. When it is destroyed, destroy this card. Fiendish Chain was a phenomenal card right out the gate. Not only as a defensive tool to protect your life points by stopping a monster from attacking, but can also just end the turn by outright negating that monster's effect for as long as this card remained on the field. There wasn't many generic monster effect negating cards at the time of release. Divine Wrath was an option, but requires you to discard a card as cost to activate in response. A card you most likely wanted in hand, as discarding was not as beneficial as it is in modern play. Forbidden Chalice was a quick play spell card with no cost, but its effect only lasts for the rest of the turn, and it also increases the attack of that monster, potentially making it a different kind of threat in the form of a big attack point wall that you needed to get over. Fiendish Chain had no cost, almost always has its activation condition available as it did not need to be activated in response, and would essentially hold that monster down from being used in most ways until either card was dealt with. Released in the middle of the Synchro era, your best opportunity to activate it was to wait until your opponent spends all their resources to summon their high level threat and shut it down with this card. Under most situations, that monster would be useless. Popularity for Fiendish Chain dropped when we began to receive more monster effect negation, such as the Hand Trap, Effect Veiler, and the Double Threat Breakthrough skill. Fiendish Chain's dependency on staying on the field was also becoming a hindrance, as a well-timed Mystical Space Typhoon would make quick work of it. On top of that, a lot of cards that remove themselves from the field as cost would still be able to resolve their effects. For example, Lone Fire Blossom tributes a plant as cost to special summon a plant from deck. Since it can tribute itself, the effect would resolve while it is in the graveyard, not hindered by Fiendish Chain. Although time moves onward and every card falls out of relevancy, Fiendish Chain has left its mark in Yu-Gi-Oh! History and in my heart. As for my 3D recreation, this is the third entry in my series. I broke the image down to 5 components. Those components being the floor with the sky, the poles, the chains, the flames, and the fiend. The floor and sky is the first layer. By using light sources where the flames would be, I could animate them to dimmer and brighten in quick succession to give the illusion of flickering flames. The sky consists of a large plane where I animated a noise texture to give off that purple fog effect. I really like how the sky turned out because it is darn close to how it looks like on the card. The second layer are the poles, and I love them. They turned out great with no real issue on creation. Make one, copy paste. The chains were a bit more difficult. Let me give you an example. It involved copying and pasting a couple hundred times. However, I am happy on how well they look. When the chains wrap around each pole, I manually aligned each link in place, making sure no link would phase through another. Also, the last link would clamp onto another, meaning it all physically makes sense. Something only I would notice as they are too far away, but hey, I wanted to do it. Also, I found out something funny that I wanted to share with all of you. The artwork gives off the illusion of chains surrounding the fiend, but when you look at it from 3D space, you can see how strange it looks. All the chains are just going in one direction. Also, there are open gaps for the fiend to just leave. I just wanted to share that. Up next, we have the flames. Creating custom fire alpha channels would have been a nightmare, so I decided to learn how to generate them. They don't look too realistic, but neither does the actual artworks, so I think this is a good style if I want to refer back to the reference. The last layer is the Fiend. It took so long to figure him out. When I started this project, I thought it was going to be quick, not realizing how complex this Fiend was for taking up so little in the frame. It was at this moment that I realized I would be needing to learn how to sculpt in 3D rather than use the traditional box modeling method I was so used to. I kid you not that I had to purchase an entire drawing tablet just for this one little guy. As troublesome as he was, it prepared me for what challenges lie ahead when it comes to organic models. Also, I'm proud on how he turned out as my first sculpted figure ever. On one last note, it's my desire to build these scenes with the intent to resemble the card art as closely as I can. However, some of the sizes to these chain links make no sense. I mean, look at this! This link has a gap, but the others don't? These chains over here look like they both stretch longer than the previous link connected to, and is that an arc? To tightly pull chains? So please, note that my goal is to mimic the design, but as a 3D artist, they need to make sense in a perspective view. With each project I complete, I learn more and more, always aiming to do better than the last, striving to create bigger and better pieces to share with all of you to express my love for this game. It would bring me happiness if you would consider subscribing to me, for I wish to upload as much as I can, and having your company for this journey would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your time, and have a wonderful day. It was at this moment that I realized I needed to learn how to sculpt it. Ah!